everybody, day 3, NAB 2013. My name is Amanda Duncan and I'm from One Source Video, and I am at the wonderful live stream booth in SL10716. Right now, as you saw before, I actually came in, you saw a video reel from my good friend Todor Fay, which is an amazing name, by the way, and you're from NewBlue. So you guys make plugins. Tell me what you offer.
I just want to say first, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Cool, no problem.
Yes, we make plugins. I think I would start by saying the philosophy of our plugins, that everything we do is to enable the creative mind, enable editors to be able to accomplish the goal that they have in mind.
Okay.
Connect the creative mind with the technology and get the technology out of the way. So we have a line of roughly 200 different audio effects, transitions, cleanups, titling, clean up things like, for example, flash removers, image stabilization, really efficient color balancing, all the kinds of things that in your daily flow you need. And then you add to that things like transitions, all kinds of creative transitions that give people, like in when they have challenging situations, how can I use a transition to move from one thing to another and not look tacky?
Right, yeah. And that's important because some people totally don't understand how not to be tacky.
And trust me, people can take our stuff and do very, very tacky things, no matter what. But then again, there's no accounting for taste.
And sometimes I really like bad production on purpose, but that's a whole other interview.
Yes. If I was to talk about anything in particular, I think I would focus in on two products that are getting a lot of attention today. One of them is called ColorFast, and ColorFast is a very quick and efficient primary and secondary color corrector. We have, like all our products, we have them on all our platforms. So this means everything from Avid Media Composer all the way down to Pinnacle Studio, across the board, because we also sell our products into the professionals as well as license them into companies for selling to consumers.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, a lot of these problems, if you solve something in such a way that somebody can quickly work with it, it works for everybody.
Right.
But one of the biggest challenges we had was titling. We saw there was a real need for people to be able to, in their editors, create beautiful animated titles quickly and effortlessly. Nothing's effortless.
It can be a pain sometimes.
It's a pain, and usually what it meant was you take a text tool, or and do some things with it, or you would throw it over the fence and use another tool, or give it to somebody else to do it, because that's sort of the traditional flow. But in today, you have people like, for example, wedding videographers, events, people doing so much time-oriented things where you need to get in there, and if you can give somebody the ability to create beautiful, gorgeous titles that are animated quickly and easily, and still give them artistic depth, then that would be a great thing to solve.
Right. Why outsource if you don't have to? And none of when you're someone who just wants to be. If it's two guys, you're a two-guy company, and it's like, hey, I don't want to send this out to somebody else to do. Like, I want to be able to do it myself, and I know that if I have a product that's user-friendly enough for me to do, I can do it.
I can give you an example of this. There's a guy named Dan Lebenthal. And by the way, Dan Lebenthal is the editor of Iron Man, so he's he's a very, very good editor. And I'll just put a little plug here on the side.
Sure.
Dan Lebenthal has created the editor's application on the iPad for editing. It's called Touch Edit. You should check it out. But my real point is, here is the consummate editor who really speaks film grammar. He loves our titler. He talks about it. But in Iron Man, does he use a titler? No, because that goes to the graphics department.
Sure.
But when you see people in broadcast production, in event video, and all the situations like that, where the editors themselves are using, or Dan Lebenthal when he does other projects, he was telling about a film he was making separately, not for major release, but like for Sundance. He uses our titler in that.
And so now you're really trying to go, you're here in the broadcasting field, so I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit more about that. Well,
the technology is real time. And we're really excited to see how this stuff is going to make its way not only into the professional fast flows, the products that we are currently in, like Avid, Grass Valley's Edius, Premiere, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, but also the same technology, injecting it into the real-time work, like live stream, so that people can be creating much more sophisticated titles on the kind of budgets that are appropriate and the kind of timelines that are necessary for this incredible explosion of internet distribution of video.
Oh, that's for sure.
So that's the opportunity for us.
Sure.
One thing I'd like to talk about that we're introducing today at the show is we've introduced support for After Effects. Now, we talk about our effects and our tiling being the solution for the editors, so we always work to make sure that it worked inside their flow, inside Premiere. You can design your titles quickly and right there on your timeline. And so we didn't do After Effects because we thought, well, you take your titles to After Effects as a side thing. That's not answering for editors. But what we discovered is we had all these people saying, please put your title in After Effects. So we just got it going, and we're loving it because After Effects is giving us power that we couldn't do in all the NLEs because now our titles...
It's such a powerful, it's an insane, powerful program. Like the amount of things you can do with it.
But the problem is I'm a nerd too. So I love going nerd on you. Is it okay if I do that?
I'm totally okay with it.
Okay,
Look at these glasses. I mean, come on.
Check this out.
Face.
Our tiler, when it's integrated in After Effects, we're able to use their camera to track it, use all their lighting. Things that even in our tiler, we have 3 lights. In After Effects, 10.
Yeah.
Camera motion, occlusion with all the other things in their After Effects composition. It even does depth of field blurring with your titles.
Good.
So you get these really, really rich titles integrated into, an amazing environment.
I mean, that's great news. I'm really happy for you guys. Diving in.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, where can people find you?
Where can people find us? Well, they can find us certainly on the web, www.newbluefx.com. But you can also find us, most of our partners, I mean, companies like Sony, Avid, and the list goes on. I mean, our products can be found in theirs as well as on their websites. You'll find us obviously through the major distributors. We've been kind of a secret until about a year ago when we finally decided that we're a company that makes products and we should start marketing them.
Okay.
So you're going to see more and more of us.
Well, I'm digging the logo.
Thank you.
And the website. The website's great, everybody. You should really go to it.
Good.
Well, Todor, I love your name.
Thank you.
And
my mother appreciates you saying that.
Well, you should tell her that I think she's cool too. Okay. All right, so have a blast with the rest of the show and best of luck to your company. I know that you're going to be doing really, really well. We'll be having a totally different conversation next year. But
we're having fun.
Yeah, good. All right, everybody. Not too much longer for me here at the live stream booth. Stick around.